Morning Exercises, March 19th. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Deuteronomy 32:7. There is much truth in the proverb, "He that will learn of none but himself is sure to have a fool for his master." The way to advance in knowledge is to be sensible of our own deficiencies and willing to avail ourselves of assistance. The cause of all errors is pride, for though we are ignorant and unable to guide ourselves, there is infallible instructor under whose teachings we may place ourselves. If any of you lack wisdom, let them ask of God that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. And there are others that may be subordinately consulted. They possess and can impart a little of his judgment, for in his light they see light. The priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. And not only ministers, but private Christians may be useful, yea, and unlearned Christians, and poor and afflicted Christians, who walk much with God, and draw in their irradiations immediately from the Scriptures. Indeed, there is hardly a being, however inferior to ourselves in some respects, but being better versed in others, can teach us something. A wise man will learn more from a fool than a fool will learn from 1,000 wise men. The Scripture sends us even to the brute creation. Ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall teach thee. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise. But I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. It is true, great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment. Yet they must have had many more opportunities for observation and decision than others, and God obviously intended to place some under the tuition of others. We were designed to live in a state of connection with and dependence upon each other, and while the old need the strength and activeness of the young need the prudence and counsel of the old. Therefore, says Peter, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. In the young, nothing can be more offensive than self-sufficiency. Surely they must acknowledge that those who are much older than themselves have at least the advantage of experience, which is commonly the slow growth of time and is the most valuable of all knowledge. And when young people so often err in the connections they form, and the steps they take, and the hazards they run into, is it not from that self-confidence which deems advice needless? They are not sober-minded, but think more highly of themselves than they ought to think. But what advantage do we derive from writing and printing? The birds and beasts are no wiser now than when they went to Noah for shelter and to Adam for names. It is nearly the same with savage life. Knowledge is not preserved, transmitted, and increased for want of books. But in consequence of these helps, the improvements of one age flow into another, and the stream is continually enlarging by the influx of additional discoveries. By means of them, we can consult the dead as well as the living, for though dead, they yet speak. and we can hold converse with Bacon and Boyle, with Luther and Leighton, and can be alone with them, and be with them in their best moments, and when they are most ready to communicate. Yea, by the Scriptures we can associate with Paul and Isaiah, with Moses and the patriarchs, and can sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of God.